late. So just we're 2 minutes, 3 minutes late. Cancel your live stream.
Connect your live.
Connect your live stream to.
You know, you good.
It's the internet. You have the internet. Is the internet pulling up on your phone, Q?
Yeah.
Sit your phone down next to.
There we are. Okay, we're good. Go ahead.
Okay, peace and grace. We're here. Welcome to Make Some Intelligent Noise. This is our very first podcast, our very first live. I'm Rochelle Wilson for Make Some Intelligent Noise, and joining me here at the table to have a conversation about what's going on in the criminal justice and prison reform movement is my dear friend Kim Webb. Hi. And I have Lieutenant Dan and Tony Dunn. Tony Dunn is the parent of an incarcerated person just like myself. So let's get started right from the beginning. But first, let me make sure that my audience knows that if you have a comment or if you'd like to chime in, we are like Dumbo the elephant with big ears. We want to hear what you have to say. This is your opportunity to chime in and let your voice be heard. So Kim, I guess I want to start with some things that we were talking about off camera. Kind of what was that moment for you that got you started into the criminal justice and prison reform movement?
The riot. When the riot took place, I listened to it all night long on the scanner. And I knew that I had to help somehow, some way, that I knew those men were going to be injured. So I fought to join a group. They finally let me in. And here I am today. And I advocate for Tariq Downing.
Okay,
Yes.
Awesome. And Lieutenant Dan, we know some of your story. We don't have enough time to go through the whole thing, but you're very, very loved and well respected in the community. So what's your story?
So I didn't know, I think there's a misconception that if you're in law enforcement or you're wearing a uniform, that it's sort of, you should know or you have engagement with all sort of levels of people in uniform. The reality is I had no connection to the Department of Corrections. I didn't, it's not something in 21 years of policing that I've ever really learned about or had crossover. So even in retirement, and after we met, words like prison reform didn't resonate with me. Not that I didn't understand, human value and human conditions and try to improve those things, but I didn't really understand what it meant. So much like when people use the word poverty or something. So the longer story, but the short story is I connected with two men at Vaughn Correctional, and the experience in and of itself has been so profound and so meaningful that it has really opened my eyes even more to this world of suffering.
Yes.
And so I'm here because I have a lot less experiences than you, but the suffering is the same. The suffering I witnessed is the same, and the injustice is the same. And so I'm here to support you and support them.
Thank you. Tony, I know your story, but for those that are listening, give me a quick 1-2 on your story.
Well, I've been fighting this battle with my son who is disabled, and it seems like the prison doesn't really recognize the issue that they have on hand right now with children, men and women that are mentally disabled. Some of them physical, but most of them mental. So my fight's been going on since 2005. So I'm in this fight for the long haul, been in it for a long time. And I'm going to continue to fight, and I'm going to support you wherever I can, because I'm glad to have you on board with this fight.
Thank you so much. And I think it's important for everyone out there to know that Make Some Intelligent Noise is all about the humanitarian treatment of incarcerated people, as well as the mental health and counseling. I think it's imperative. One of the things that bothers me a lot, and I talk about it all the time, is folks being locked up in uniforms in cages for 22 and a half hours a day. I try to go to the bathroom, and in 10 minutes, I want to get out. I don't want to stay in there not another hour, but I did try to do that one day. I stayed in my bathroom, which is really a nice bathroom, but I stayed in there for maybe 2 hours, no cell phone, nothing but a newspaper, and just in my bathroom. Now I could walk out anytime I want. And after about 2 hours, I was literally pulling my hair out. I had no choice but, to come out. But that little 2-hour experience made me really feel the pressure of what it's like to be in there for 22 and a half hours a day.
Yeah, it goes against everything that we are designed as human beings to do. We were talking about it earlier, and I think it's important. We don't live as independent sort of isolationists, right? We don't live as hermits.